Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can import policies from Fortigate to FortiManager, as well as how we can make changes to any configurations and import, export back and forth from FortiManager to Fortigate and Fortigate back to FortiManager. So we will do lots of different things in this video. So let's start by doing a very small thing. So you have FortiManager. As you can see, there is just a default policy at this point of time. There is no other policies installed. We have our Fortigate. There is only one Fortigate attached to this FortiManager, and there is not much happening right now. Let's go to Fortigate, and I've just added a new policy on Fortigate. So let's start just by importing the policy from the Fortigate to our manager. So it's gonna map the ports which has been used in the policies. So literally port 1 at this point of time. Then we're gonna click next. Import all policies. Import only policy dependent objects. So it's not gonna import any other objects which is in the Fortigate. Right, so these are the address objects as well as services we are using the policy. I can show you again which we are going to import. So click next. So now it's taking all the policies and gonna store in the FortiManager. So all the policies which are in the FortiManager are stored in ADOM database. So ADOM database contains all the policies, all the address objects, your services, your all anything which belongs to the policy. So let's refresh it. So now you can see the policy has been imported, and if you go to policy and objects, you will see there's a new policy which is here, and we got that. Right, so there's few things we need to think here, that the policy which we have just imported, that is stored in the ADOM database, and if we right now the policy is not in sync with the Fortigate. In order to make it sync, we need to push back the policy back to the Fortigate. So if I click on install policy package and device settings, select the policy package, you can create a revision, you can name the revision and click next. Select the Fortigate, click next. Right, so if you click install, and finish. So right now everything is in sync. Config status and policy package in status says install. So well and good, everything is in sync now. Right, so if you go back to Fortigate and let's try to change some settings directly on Fortigate, not the FortiManager, and let's see what happens. What will it do to the policy package in the FortiManager? So if we go in the policy and select the policy, and just for the argument's sake, let's change the service, delete the HTTP and keep HTTPS. That's okay. Now if you go back to FortiManager and see what happens, is there any change has taken place, or we have the same situation what we had previously? So now it's actually refreshing the settings. There you go. So If you do change directly on FortiGate, it will definitely make the policy package out of sync, because right now FortiManager doesn't know um, uh, what changes you have done in the policy package directly on FortiGate. So it makes the FortiGate out of sync, especially in case of policy packages. In this situation, you do the same thing. You select the FortiGate and you import the policies back to the FortiManager, and this time it will again map all the ports from the FortiGate. Click next. You can again import all the policies. Sometimes if you know which policy you want to import, then you can always select the policies ID. At this point in time we just got one policy ID, so we're just going to import all the policies. You can overwrite it or you can rename it. So in this situation, let's overwrite it. Click next. Next. Finish. And if we refresh it, we go import here, and if we go to the policy package, you see we have only one services, which is HTTPS. So let's see how we're doing with the time, and then I can show you different configurations. So yeah, we got 4 more minutes. I can show you these things. Right, so you can see that it is imported. We can install the configuration back to the Fortigate just to make the Fortigate in sync. I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm not creating a revision history for that, but this is just to show you guys. Finish it. Okay, everything is in sync, right? So as I have mentioned previously, that all the policies information, things like objects, services, address object group, service groups, those things are stored in the ADOM database. Things like routing, interface, IP addresses, VLAN settings, those settings is stored in device database. So what's the difference? So if I go to policy and objects, and let's create an VLAN. So if I create a VLAN interface, or just create an interface test, and just leave it like that, and we have a test, and if we want to change things like let's change, what do we want to change? Right, so let's change, we have created a new interface. So if you go to device manager, nothing has been changed. So let's create a root on the Fortigate, and then we will see what changes have been made on the device database. Right, so in order to create the roots, you need to go to device manager, and then you select Fortigate, you go to menu, then you select the root, static root, and then if you want to create a new, let's create a default root. Default root will be, let's select this one. Right, so we have created a default root. Let's see, have we got anything interesting to see? Right, so what you can see is I've just created a default root, but only thing which has been modified is the config status. That means the only thing which I have changed is the config. So no changes in policy package. So if we go to install, The good practice is always to select this option, install policy package in device settings. But just for this example, I would like to show you that we are only changing the device configuration, so we're going to select install device settings. You select that. Validation, you can see the validation. I've just got some issues in my preview. Okay, so here we go. So it's setting the gateway. Close that. And you can install it. Okay, so now you can see everything synchronized and all looks good. Right, so in this video we have only covered a small bit of the configuration, how you import and how you can do the changes on the FortiManager and push it back or import from the Fortigate. Next video I would show you how you can revert the configuration, how you can retrieve the configuration, and how you can tweak things if you have created a change on the FortiManager and you don't want that change anymore to push from FortiManager to Fortigate. So thanks a lot for watching this video. If you guys got any comments or any questions, please leave them in your comments. Thanks.